Here we are. What a long, strange trip it's been. Episode 18 of the sophomore season of Batwoman. And I couldn't... Oh, Jesus. Do I have to feign excitement? Do I? No? Alright. Holy shit. This finale was... Oh, yeah, and I guess you're wondering, hey, is this the lost member of the Beastie Boys? No. I am Itepukuian, the People's Champion, right here with you. The best place to get your Batwoman reviews right here. I've been covering this show for 2 fucking years. I didn't just jump on at the last minute and be like, oh, people are hating on Batwoman? I'm gonna get in on that shit. No. No, God, no. I've been covering this since the very first fucking trailer dropped. Back in 2019, before the world went to shit. So, if you're ready, if you're prepared, ladies and gentlemen, I proudly, and for the sake of my own mental well-being, happily bring to you the second season finale, episode 18, Power. This is my Batwoman review. Now, monkeys, roll the footage. Monkeys, roll the footage.
Yeah, that works.
I like
all right,
it.
okay. All right, moving on.
Hey, what about Tula?
So here we are, the final chapter, the denouement, the curtain call, the season finale of Batwoman, the sophomore effort. And I do hope you enjoyed yesterday's look back at the first 17 episodes and their quote-unquote highlights, as it were, because I do have to admit that video was a bit of a chore to make, but it was fun to watch all the ridiculous shenanigans from mind-numbingly terrible television that I endured over the course of this second season of Batwoman. Like the song says, my pain is self-chosen and I am a man of my word, which originally was that I would cover the first trailer to the very bitter end of the show, which I thought would be canceled after 1 season, but I intend on concluding this journey no matter how many brain cells it costs me. Well, without further ado, allow me to get on with the video. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Batwoman Season 2, Episode 18, Power. We start out with a dead guard on the ground at the TV station, and Black Mask is addressing the citizens of Gotham, and he's on every channel and every screen across Gotham, and he's going off about defunding the police, Arkham, Blackgate,
Yada, yada, yada.
But more importantly, we see Kate, or Cersei, or whatever.
Oh, what the fuck ever!
Suiting up in her CW Batman Who Laughs costume, including a black helmet akin to her dear old dad's. Black Mask is inviting the city of Gotham's citizens to become vigilantes, and he has provided them with all the masks, and the power goes out across Gotham, including dimming out the bat signal. Before the power goes out, though, Black Mask says this line, and it's such wonky dialogue. He says, you know, the thing about power is, if you don't use it, you lose it. Here we go. Da-na-na. Just play the clip already.
Peter, I'm really starting to question why I'm even friends with you in the first place.
Ryan is penning her letter to Gotham, her letter of resignation, that is, and says that she never took wearing the signal for granted and that the city needed to protect her and someone to give them hope and be a hero.
When the fuck has this insufferable cow ever been a fucking hero or a sign of hope?
Everything that Ryan has done has been a means to an end for her own personal agenda and to avenge her stepmother's death. She hasn't been some Cape Crusader fighting for justice for Gotham, and to suggest otherwise is an attempt to gaslight the audience even more than Caroline the fucking imbecile Dries in her activist writer's room full of idiots who don't know Batwoman from fucking Man-Bat. Mary and Luke are sitting by candlelight. Mary is trying to lay out a half-baked plan to save the day. And the funny thing about the lack of power where they are is you're telling me that Mary and Luke both have a hand in running multi-million-dollar companies and their buildings aren't equipped with emergency power supplies? Get the fuck out of here, Caroline, you dim-witted twat. You have less respect for your audience than Kim Jong-un does the people of North Korea. Back to Mary and Luke's interesting conversation. And Ryan walks in and says, how are we going to do all that? Ryan says that I can't do everything on my own. Bitch, shut the fuck up, please. Mary leaves to go back to her super secret underground clinic, and then Luke gives her and Ryan a set of walkie-talkies to communicate on because the cell phones are all down because Black Mask.
So
Over at the studio, Black Mask is talking to Circe about Batman and all the things he kept from his villains, and Mask then references Bane and tells Tavarov he won't turn Russell into a lunatic like Bane. He tells Circe that his grand plan is to have complete chaos, remove the government, and then when the dust settles, Roman Sionis will put a bullet in Black Mask. He says it'll give one of his goons a raise to wear the mask that day, and then states that the city will be his. Just then, not Bane Tavarov. We got to get a better name for this guy, like Kmart Bane. Well, Kmart Bane starts a twitching and the medical equipment starts beeping and flatlines. Mask says get rid of him because the experiment didn't work. And isn't that what you're supposed to do with your toxic white males when you're done with them? Just throw them in the garbage? Luke sends Ryan the address for the TV station, and Sophie says she's going too. And Ryan says,
I didn't realize this was a date.
"Oh shit, you know what time it is!"
The lesbian!
Sophie snaps back with,
Bitch shot me with a crossbow while I was trapped in an elevator.
and then the dick measuring contest between these two cows continues, and Ryan replies with,
Yeah, and she beat my ass twice and I wasn't.
Ryan then of course plays the victim after Sophie says,
You're Batwoman.
and Ryan, still playing the victim, says,
Without the suit and gadgets, I'm just Ryan Wilder.
and Sophie has to immediately validate and reassure her by saying,
Damn right you are. Now let's go kick this white bitch's ass. That's racist.
Then Alice shows up and asks where Kate is, and they inform her that Circe played them, and Alice says she knows because midget lesbian pirate queen Sophia told her so.
Here on Lesbian Island, wish you were heresies.
She wouldn't be giving them any problems anymore because Alice left that bitch dead on a beach with the Jesus blood knife shoved in her guts. Then something comes flying through the windows. There's anarchy in the streets, and Sophie and Ryan save the mayor, who happens to be in an SUV right outside the fucking loft. How convenient is that? Ryan goes to stop Circe and enlists Alice to help her as they both have to put on masks. Well, it's proposed, but I don't think we ever see him with the masks on. And Alice's fine ass makes Ryan ask nicely to help her because Alice is unfettered now, and they could always
Scissor me timber!
Luke is bumbling around his dad's office and he finds a bunch of drawings from childhood of himself as Batman. And we know what's going to happen next. We saw the foreshadowing. Luke finds the Batwing suit and he's going to become
Cockwing.
Mary's underground abortion clinic is buzzing with activity, and they bring in Tavarov and say they found him in a dumpster. And we alluded to earlier, that's what you're supposed to do with your toxic white males. You throw them in the dumpster when you're done with them. But yet here he is on a gurney at Mary's abortion clinic. Fuck off, Caroline. He still has the venom attached to him and the snake bite syringes, and we know that half of these idiots in this clinic are about to die when Big Boy wakes up angry. Alice is in the passenger seat of the Batmobile, talking shit to Ryan about living in Kate's loft, and proceeds to tell her that she read her mail and she had a super sexy power bill and a postcard from
Angelique sees.
who incidentally isn't supposed to be contacting anyone from her previous life, as that's a WITSEC violation and can get you expelled from the program. And she sends her
XOs, XOZs. The lesbian!
Alice then says, oh, and you have a parole hearing tomorrow morning. They really let anyone be a superhero these days, don't they? How meta, Alice. Ryan and Alice pull up right outside the station, and Alice tells Ryan that she gets why you hate me. And Alice actually fucking apologizes, and Ryan, of course, she tells Ryan that she doesn't deserve her forgiveness, and Alice says to Ryan, what kind of hero kills the first woman she meets? Ryan's mom apparently died during childbirth.
Mary is sporting a super cutesy pink outfit with her cat ear hairdo.
And radios Luke and says,
Oh my god, Z's, I have a super crazy idea.
she wants to expose Kate to some kind of vapor to bring Kate back out. Oh yeah, it's snakebite. She wants to fucking spray her with snakebite. And Tavarov wakes up as planned and starts chokeslamming motherfuckers. And he busts the back door out of the abortion clinic, and Mary sees him and says,
Oh my god, Z's, over.
Seriously, she's just wandering around in a dark alley behind her back alley abortion clinic during what's basically Gotham's version of The Purge, and she's unarmed and stupid. I mean, this can't go wrong, can it?
Fuck me, right?
Gotham looks like Seattle during the summer of love in 2020, and Ryan and Alice enter the TV station and get into a fight with Circe or Kate or whatever at this point. And Black Mask just starts shooting at them, and they hide behind a fucking folding table! Because these are now made of Kevlar and completely bulletproof. Hey, writers.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
So Mask and Kate try to make an escape, and Ryan goes after Circe or Kate, and Alice goes after Black Mask.
So...
We get an annoying Vesper moment with this milquetoast white family they've shown throughout the episode, huddled around the radio, hanging on her every word, and one of the kids off screen tries to get the parents' attention to look at something, and the dad's like,
We're listening to Vesper.
You will be silent!
Kid has one of those skull masks and says the neighbors put one up in their window. Can we? What the actual fuck? Who wrote this shit? Well, it'll kind of make sense later, but it's still kind of fucking stupid and not really safe.
He was a retard.
Tavarov is out back ripping apart the dumpster, and he's chasing Mary and wants his snake bite back, and she tases him and they run up a fire escape, and when he gets a hold of her, he just fucking tosses her off the balcony, and she falls in horrible CGI fashion. In comes Cuckwing and catches her mid-flight in a recreation of the Kate and Sophie landing scene because they just fall. Mary ends up on top of Luke, who opens up the helmet and proclaims that he's still working out the kinks. Mary looks confused, but I think it's literally just because the writers are too stupid to write the dialogue for her reaction, or maybe she has a stroke.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Ryan pulls up in the Batmobile.
That's just a car.
And Mary gives her the snake bite and tells her she needs to spray Kate or Circe or whatever. And then Ryan again cries that she can't beat Circe or Kate or mother... I'm so fucking sick and tired of listening to Rando Wilder's ass cry about being a victim. This whole season, that has been a definite running theme. She won't accept responsibility. She's a perpetual victim. Nobody's had it worse. The world owes her something.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
But back to the show, and Mary reassures Ryan that she is the bestest ever. Then we see the windows of many of the apartments in Gotham with the black masks in the window on display, but with candles lit behind them because they look like a bat symbol with them lit up. I bet all these motherfuckers were Boy Scouts. Then Mary looks at Ryan and says, Batwoman is already in you. Soywing, Cuckwing, Luke, Little Fox, whatever you want to call him, finally gets back at that evil, toxic white male, Russell Tavarov. When Tavarov asks, who are you? Luke says, I'm Justice, and punches him through the windshield of a car. No, I'm not kidding. This is what the writers had for Luke to say in this spot right here. Listen, if you don't believe me.
What the hell are you?
Justice.
Oh my god!
We coming for you, nigga!
Black Mask is beating the fuck out of Alice because he treats women equally as he does men and decides to remove his mask and start monologuing, and then Alice sprays him in the face with the Joker's flower and he's out. Sophie is directing Ryan in the
That's just a car.
Batmobile, and she's trying to catch Circe or Kate or whatever on the Bat Cycle. Then Ryan just starts fucking shooting at her. It's funny because they're supposed to be in Gotham and they're clearly on a rural road in fucking Canada.
No, don't like that.
Well, Ryan decided to use her Batmobile lasso and rip Circe or Kate or mother... So Kate and Ryan are fighting on the bridge in this clearly rural area, i.e. not Gotham, and we know that it's time that the white girl got hers. She wasn't a good ally. She didn't do enough in the movement, and she has to go... Oh, wrong script. But seriously, Kate and Ryan are fighting, and Ryan tells Circe to call her Batwoman, and...
Call me Batwoman. Call me Batwoman.
Alice shows up and sprays Kate with the fucking snake bite, and they both fall off the fucking bridge into the river, and Ryan celebrates because those two white bitches are finally gone. She's the star because if the actual popular characters die off, then her miserable ass will more than likely be more popular by process of elimination, right?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
So Alice and Kate are floating to the bottom of the river, and both are unconscious, and we get a dream sequence that sees Ocean, and we find out that hench lesbian assassin Tatiana got the drop on Ocean Man and killed him because he was pricing out real estate for his new life with Alice.
I'm retarded.
And we get the feelings on the abandoned train car, and Ocean tells Alice to have more feelings, and she cries, and we have more feelings underwater as Kate sees herself as a little girl walk down into Cartwright's basement. Cartwright? And reuniting with her sister during her vision, and then they're both pulled out of the water, and Alice is awake, and Ryan is trying to do CPR, and Kate and Alice is blowing into her mouth, and
The lesbian!
And Kate actually comes back to life and calls Alice Beth, and the GCPD shows up and arrests Alice just out of nowhere. They inexplicably show up and immediately say,
"That's Alice from the Wonderland gang."
these fucking police are as inept as the Keystone Cops. And I know a lot of you kids out there probably have no fucking idea who the Keystone Cops are. I implore you, do a quick YouTube search of them and you'll see the unmistakable and uncanny resemblance to the Gotham Police Department in their level of effectiveness. We get more annoying Vesper Fairchild voiceover, and she says that Batwoman, the city needs you and Gotham loves. Oh, and Ryan actually made it to her fucking parole hearing. What if they wrote it so Ryan was late for her hearing? Her parole officer does a fucking heel turn.
It's me, Austin!
And was a member of the False Face Society the whole time. There's an obvious power vacuum at the top now because Sionis was arrested, and Alice was as well. So both of the most prominent gangs are without oversight from a clear defined leader. So Ryan goes back to prison to rot, and with Kate back being portrayed by the gorgeous and very superhero looking Wallace Day, she can reclaim the mantle that rightfully belongs to her as Batwoman.
Perfektenschlag.
But alas, her PO has recommended that she be released early in reality. When the parole board asks her if she's changed, Ryan says that she hasn't changed. She's still the good person she always was, implying that she never fucking did anything wrong in the first place. That's funny, because she was originally incarcerated for possession of narcotics, and depending upon the quantity, that can levy some serious consequences. So in reality, she was knowingly committing a crime, but we all know this bitch is infallible in the eyes of the writers because she checks all the right boxes. Ryan then goes on to say,
a woman who has found her power. A woman who has found her power.
Then the board, fucking of course, votes to release her from supervised parole.
You get your bitch ass back in the kitchen and make me some pie.
Back at Bruce's office, Mary is telling the Quizmaster story and drinking beer with Kate and Luke, and she asks him about the suit he wore, and he says it was based off his drawings from childhood and how a black Batman would look. My question is, why the fuck would he look any different based on ethnicity? I'm talking about the fucking outfit. I mean, fucking seriously. Are the writers mentally retarded? If you really think about it, Bruce Wayne could hypothetically be a black man from a wealthy black family if it was originally written that way. Kind of a what if you will indulge me for a moment so I can further articulate my point. So are the writers so racist that they think the bat suit for a black man has to light up and be able to fly and have enhanced strength, which is basically a black Iron Man or a War Machine if you prefer that reference? Or is it that they were saying he has to be tricked out like a car, for example? Is that what they're implying by their rather hilarious attempt at serious writing? Luke says, Kate, you're home and you're healthy and safe, and Mary and I support you. Mary then asks how Alice fits into those plans, and Kate says that until Alice is Beth, she can't help her.
What a story, Mark.
Ryan walks in and Kate dismisses Mary and Luke, and Mary hugs Kate before she leaves, and Ryan and Kate toast, and Ryan tells Kate she was taking it easy on her when they were fighting on the bridge. Ryan thanks Kate for allowing her to wear her symbol. Kate says, I put that suit on to give back to my city. You put that suit on to survive. Then Kate tells Ryan that she's Batwoman. Fuck you, Caroline Dries! You're so short-sighted and exhibit such
Sheer fucking hubris.
that you had a perfect opportunity to redeem the show to a certain degree and give the role of the Scarlet Knight back to its rightful owner, Kate Kane. But no, you just want to make her a jobber and put old
And living in a van down by the river.
Wilder over like anyone actually gives a shite about this ridiculous non-canonical garbage tier fucking character.
Yes, every single thing I say offends them.
Who are you calling them?
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
No, not even close. I was going to go with say, meanwhile at...
This is Lesbos!
Kate goes to see Sophie.
The lesbian!
And Kate promises not to try to kill her this time. Kate also tells Sophie she's leaving Gotham and going to find Bruce.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Sophie makes out with Kate, and this is the best part of the fucking episode because I get to do this.
The lesbian!
At the Batcave, Ryan is leading the Bat team, and they're going after the missing Batman trophies from all the villains. They're also building a community center on top of the abortion clinic, which seems like a good idea on paper, but I don't know if this is really the best move given the location and, you know, other factors playing in like it's in the fucking ghetto. Ryan leaves and tells Mary and Luke that she's going to tie up a loose end, which usually means killing someone, but I don't think she's got the stones for it unless it's a toxic white male.
Want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts!
Ryan is seen at Arkham Asylum visiting Alice, and she's trying to make Alice feel bad and tells her that this is justice for my mom. And then Alice tells Ryan that her biological mother didn't die in childbirth and that she's still very much alive. So season 3 is going to be Ryan looking for her biological mother. Oh, fuck.
You serious?
So Caroline motherfucking Dries wants to take this show out in one final blaze of incompetence, does she?
I'll see you in hell, Costanza.
This episode ends with a shot of the various items that Batman got from his villains gently floating down the river, washing ashore on a serene riverbank. And then the poison ivy canister opens up and starts to immediately spread into the existing foliage. And that is the merciful end of season fucking 2 of Black son of a... Oh my god, it's over. Da-na-na, da-na-na, na-na-na.
Peter, I'm really starting to question why I'm even friends with you in the first place.
A woman who has found her power.
Alright, so we're done with season 2 of Batwoman.
It's a Festivus miracle!
We can see going into season 3 what they're going to be using for story arcs. Number 1, you're going to have the search for Rando Wilder, the generic Kmart Batwoman's biological mother. Number 2, you're going to have Alice locked away in Arkham again, which inevitably she'll probably break out because they'll have to have something for her to do if Rachel Scarston is still on the show. So we've got her in place in Arkham. I'm sure they might just flash her in Arkham. You know Alice is going to be involved somehow. Number 3, Dougray Scott left the show. He's like, I'm out.
And fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm going to go play Wolverine in my headcanon. I'm done. So Dougray Scott, 2 seasons, bam, wasn't even in this episode. I don't think he was in the last 2, to be honest. Oh, no, he was in the one before. But yeah, he was not in this episode. He's done. Sophie's character was a waste this season. Megan Tandy really had jack shit to do. Julia Pennyworth still wandering around Europe with her head all scrambled because Enigma messed with her mind. And going back to that, she can't get it back. If they bring Julia in season 2, or if they bring Julia back in season 3, they're going to have to unscramble her head. So we hope we see her fine ass again in season 3. Who else do we have out there with a dangling plot thread? We got Cuckwing now. Luke Fox, Little Fox, with his, Cuckwing suit. Are they going to make him like Batman? I don't know. Catesies is going out looking for Bruce, which doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't Sophie go with her if she loves her so much? It's not like Sophie has to work for the Crows or the Crows even exist anymore. So what are you doing? What sense does this make? Caroline Dries, you're a complete moron. And the writer of this episode is none other than Caroline Dries. Wrote this episode. She wrote this garbage. She wrote this season finale. to this dumpster fire of a TV show that she's ran into the ground for 38 episodes now. Oh yeah, and while we're at it, why don't we just check the ratings from last night too? And as always, these ratings do not disappoint, ladies and gentlemen. They are down 10.82% to 400,000 viewers. It is sunk sub 400,000 a few times this season, but right now it is sitting at 400,000 viewers, down around 50% from last year. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that the weirdos on Twitter will tell you doesn't matter. They say ratings matter as much as a fax machine in this day and age. But if shows' ratings didn't matter, they wouldn't get canceled based on ratings. So this is hilarious. These people know this show's bad. They know it's losing them money. My brain can finally rest easy until October. I believe it's supposed to come back. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 18 of Batwoman Power, the season finale. I will be back probably with one more Batwoman video this season, and then any ancillary news that comes out, you know I'll be following it here. Get your Batwoman news here, ladies and gentlemen, on the only channel that matters when it comes to Batwoman coverage outside of maybe Az or Tharias Unlimited. But I'm Itepukuin of the Place to Be Reviews. If I've earned your subscription, please let today be the day you hit that red button, slap that like button for me. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one. And remember, it's better to burn out than fade away.